This is Benny, a cute but dumb-looking black boy. All his classmates get very good marks on their class tests, but his marks are highly predictable. He scores in single digits every freaking time and becomes a laughingstock for his classmates. He thinks he is the dumbest person and tells his mother that he cannot improve as he is dumb. But his mother has another notion. She constantly motivates him, saying he too can achieve great things in life. This is a true story of a man in flesh and blood, an extraordinary life of an ordinary person who achieves the impossible. Despite being mocked at and racially harassed time and time again by friends and teachers, he bounces back and does what only a genius can do. His story begins in this classroom. He, as predictable, again gets a 0 on his class test. A girl says that he has got none, but the class teacher hears it 9. While other students score above 20, the teacher appears to be happy with Bernie's poor score when she thinks that is 9. This is quite an improvement by Bernie's standards. When everybody finds Bernie's marks, the class laughs loudly, as if routinely. This does not stop here. To make things worse, people mock Bernie whenever they find him. Bernie is followed everywhere, not because he is celebrated, but for the wrong reason. A group of bullies follow him and start bullying him. He looks frustrated, as anyone would in his situation. Bernie gets furious and cannot control his rage and punches a boy's face with a lock in his hand, bleeding him out. The principal calls his mom into his office and warns her of the incident. He also shows her Bernie's report card, which is no less worrisome for the young mother. In almost every subject, he fails. These bullying incidents greatly influenced Bernie's confidence and thought process. He repeatedly tells his mom, Sonia, that he is not smart enough, but his mother is a fountain of motivation for him and his elder brother, Curtis. One day, Bernie asks his mother for help in his studies. Sonia dodges the situation by saying that she needs a new reading glass. She finds out that Bernie has a problem with his eyes. He cannot read because he cannot see the small words properly. He gets his glasses, and voila, he starts improving his grades, class tests, and spelling competition. She says that he can study all by himself. He does so, day and night. Among all the subjects, chemistry bothers him the most. He studies so hard that he begins hallucinating like the chemistry professor is writing down the formula for him on the board. His hard work pays off. In the exam, he does very well and decides to become a neurosurgeon. He applies to Johns Hopkins, which is the most renowned institution in the U.S. Johns Hopkins was taking only 2 resident students for neurosurgeon facility. This is cutthroat competition indeed. Only the best of students can get an opportunity there. Bernie is steadfast that he wants to get admitted only there and nowhere else, and applies nowhere else. He takes an interview. His confidence impresses the doctor. When asked why he wants to be a neurological surgeon, Bernie replies that the brain is a mysterious organ and wants to unfold its mystery. He says that he believes that a miracle can happen, and he wants to do the miracle. His confidence impresses the interviewer, and he gets his admission and continues to excel. At Johns Hopkins, he is not liked by people. A senior doctor tells him that he is not exceptional. He sounds racial and tells Bernie, now Dr. Carson, to do what he is asked to do. He becomes a resident doctor. An emergency case comes, and the patient needs surgery immediately. This is a life and death situation. There is no doctor available to attend to the patient but the resident, Dr. Carson. He does not have a license and is not eligible to operate on a patient who is fighting death. But he operates and saves the patient, risking his whole career, which he had dreamed of all his life. He is called by his senior in his office. He is worried that he can be rebuked for his actions, but to his surprise, the senior doctor appreciates what he has done to save a life. The business in his hospital duty goes on like this. A young couple comes to the hospital with their daughter, who has seizures all the time she is awake. The other doctors said that she is half retarded. Dr. Carson says that she needs a hemispherectomy, which would remove an area of the brain which is seizure-prone. This is very risky, as it could paralyze the child or she could lose her speaking and motor ability. He assures the parent that the child's brain has a remarkable ability to recover. The brain cells take up the functions of the diseased cells and restore neurological function, but this is a gamble.